Get ready
Welcome
to.
back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka the $600 Man, with my co-hosts.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka New Balance.
And we're back with another episode. And Eli, we have finally made it out of 2020. So yes, but
We have
before we go
fun
any
to talk.
further, before we go any further, I want to talk about our sponsors this week. Twisted Tea. Uh, Finally, you have a can of whoop ass you can buy in the store. So yeah. But like I said, we're out of 2020. That was a complete shit show. So hopefully everybody is out of it and trying to get ready for 2021. Hopefully 2021 is not a even more shit show. You know what, Eli? Even if 2021 is a shit show, I think we're prepared for it now.
We're used to this shit by now.
Yeah, 2020 has hardened us to the point, that we're ready for it. So yeah, it's getting to the point now that people look weird without their mask. Like I'm looking at you without your mask, and I'm just like, no, Eli, no, put your mask back on.
Yeah, I'm under like, damn. Maybe going forward. I'm gonna have a lot. My hands are gonna be a lot cleaner,
Right,
and my house is gonna be a lot cleaner because I'm constantly scrubbing shit down.
right. Trying not to get the Rona. So, oh man. So yeah, but like I said, I don't know what the hell was going on at the beginning of January the 1st, but apparently there was just a whole bunch of dead bodies that they just dropped at the doorstep of 2021. So we're just gonna just go through that one as fast as possible. Eli, I'm gonna let you start,
Okay.
and just trying to knock this out as best as you can.
All
First
right.
off, let me give you, and you probably even forgot this one. Which
I'm sharing out the link right now, so
go
bear with
for
me
it.
for a moment to
Okay.
spread the word,
Hmm.
spread our listeners, like, share, and subscribe, if you will. If you would be,
Smash the like button.
smash the like button, get in the
Oh,
chat, talk some
right.
shit. Chat.
Share it out. Do what you do.
So,
Okay. All right. While you doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and set it up then. Okay. So, like I said, we want to first off, we want to say rest in peace to make sure I'm saying this right, Eli. Adolfo Quiñones.
that sounds
I
about right.
probably screwed it up. If I screwed it up, oh well, I screwed it up. Shabba from Breaking.
Ozone. We all know him as Ozone.
Ozone, right? Ozone from Breaking. Like I said, if you grew up in the '80s, you know who he is. They pretty much this movie pretty much invented the breakdancing craze. Like I said, breakdance was always around, but
Yeah.
this was where it became mainstream. You know.
Yeah.
Let me see who do we got before we go here. Oh boy, 2020. Yes, 616 man. Yes, you're a new guy, but I like the 616. You got to be a comic kid to know what that means. So thank you for listening. But I'll let you take over from there while I share out the rest of the links.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Ozone. He starred in Breaking and Breaking 2. There was a franchise. This is how big breakdancing got in the 80s.
Breaking to Electric Boogaloo. If you're
Yeah.
wondering where that came from, yeah.
Yeah. He was also a choreographer. He was in a bunch of videos. I believe he was in a Shaka Khan video. That's what I remember saying. Oh, there's Ozone. I remember watching a Shaka Khan video. But yeah, he passed away. Yeah, that's too bad. All our
Did they
childhood
say what
heroes.
of or?
I'm not sure what it was. I haven't found that out yet. But just saying, another childhood hero of ours has now made their journey back. So
Yeah, so
rest in peace to Ozone.
yeah, like I said, if you haven't seen Breaking and Breaking Two Electric Boogaloo, definitely go see it. Some classic scenes. There's gonna be some scenes in there that you can be like, oh, that's where that came from.
Yeah,
So it's one of those movies,
that's where that sample came from. Pitbull didn't write that.
right? Even though we know Pitbull is a musical genius, all of that isn't him. All right, so let's go to the next one because, like I said, it's a shitload of them. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
this one's gonna
man.
be a
2020 just took a one last shit on us right before.
right. Just like we knew the fourth quarter of it was gonna be rough. We didn't know it was gonna be this rough. So yeah, so I'm gonna let you go on with this one also. Rest in peace, MF Doom. But I'm gonna let you take over
Oh
from
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, MF Doom. Yes, underground rapper, hip hop artist, MF Doom, Metal Face Doom, as he is known. Oh, he had a secret persona. I guess his name is, what is his name? I just found out what his real name was the other day.
Oh
Uh,
really?
Dan was it Daniel Dumile? Is that what it was? His name
I
was?
think so. I heard like other rappers, posting his name also on there.
Yeah, Daniel Dumile. He was in KMD. I didn't even know he was in KMD. I did not know that was him on the Gas Face song back in the day. He came back uh, as MF Doom in the late '90s, and just made up this persona, this secret super villain persona, and released so many albums, like so many albums under different. He had the Victor Vaughn, he had MF Doom, he had Mad Villainy, and he put out just a bunch of albums, very very nerdy rhymes. He
I
was
mean, he had to be named, MF Doom.
yeah, he took his moniker from Doctor Doom. Victor
Right.
Vaughn is Doctor Doom's real name. He rhymed about comics, cartoons, nerdy shit, video games, anime, um, Adult Swim. He had a lot of his beats were used on Adult Swim's. Those
They gave him a shout out on, like they said, rest in peace for him.
yeah, those commercial breaks where you'd see "Welcome back to Adult Swim" and you'd hear those beats. Those were a lot of those Mad Lib beats. Yeah, he was like straight up underground and kept it underground, kept it raw, and just his identity a secret. I mean, to the point where he even had Doom bots or whatever go out and perform
Really?
for him. Yeah, he had people impersonate him and go out on tour, and people were pissed
Like,
off.
wasn't there like a FM Doom or something? I think I remember that.
I don't know, but he had impersonators, these Doom impersonators, like going out on tour with them. And he said he's like, he even said, this is my thing. I can do what I want. If I want to have people impersonate me, that's my, I'm going to do that. He said, I might even send a white guy one time. So he was so, one of the quotes I've read this week, I can't remember who said it. One of the rappers saying he gave a voice to young black nerds, who felt weird and out of place, especially in hip hop, where it's all about,
the tough guy and the
ego
gangster,
and bragging, and he had a place. There was a place for the nerds, and that's where Doom Doom fit in. So yeah, and the fact that he died back in October, and we're just
Right.
now finding
On
out about
Halloween.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just now finding out about it. That's such a Doom thing to do. Like, he kept his death a secret, and I could not help but like grin when I heard that. Like, wow, he even died in secret. So
Right.
shout out to MF Doom. I was a big fan. His Victor Vaughn stuff, all the Mad Villainy album. Operation Doomsday. Rhyming about like all kinds of nerdy stuff. Anime and all that stuff, making reference to
Yeah,
comic
so
books. And
he was a
yeah,
pioneer, but like I said, there's a lot of guys out there right now. Sidetrack of it, if you guys are into like nerdy raps like that, Google a guy named Mega Ran. He raps nothing but Capcom video game stuff. Matter of fact, he raps so much Capcom even sponsor him after a while. So
yeah,
who we got here? MF Doom, super cool nerd, love comic book culture references on Rabbi. Yeah.
yeah. And he was
So
constantly he just appeared on, like, he was always appearing on people's albums, or like rappers would appear on his album. Ghostface and Wu-Tang members would record verses. All kinds of rappers would be featured on his tracks. I mean, he was just constant. He was like a Cool Keith. Cool
right.
Keith had
And
Black
he had
Elvis.
like a lot of personas and
Yeah,
identities and
yeah, Black Elvis and Dr. Octon. That's what he was like. He just had these different identities, and just constantly putting out work, constantly doing stuff. Like Griselda. Like all those guys put out multiple albums this year.
right.
Just that's how MF Doom was just constantly putting in work, constantly making shit. So yeah,
So
so good journey to Metal Face Doom.
okay. So another one, like I said, they just kept just dropping bodies on. I don't know what the fuck going on. Rest in peace, Don Wells. So for those who know
Oh,
who Don Wells, this kind of old school thing right here. For you may not know who this is, but this is Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island. Like I said, me personally, I was a huge fan of Gilligan Island because I love the plot of it. And yes, this was the plot. So it was always like like everybody had this battle between Mary Ann and Ginger. But I don't remember anybody ever picking Ginger. Not to say nothing was wrong with Ginger, but I don't remember anybody ever picking Ginger.
Yeah, pretty much everyone was Team Marianne.
It was just Mary Ann, and that was it. So.
Well, Ginger was all, fancy and glittery and fluffy, and Marianne's running around in a fucking crop top and shit.
Right, the whole time. Daisy Dukes before Daisy Dukes were even a thing. Yeah. Before Daisy Duke was even a thing. They should call them Mary Ann's. But anyway, and like I said, you know what? I always wonder about it. Everybody keep wondering, like, Gilligan was so stupid. Why he always sabotaged the beach, so they couldn't get off the beach. This is why. This is why he kept sabotaging them so he wouldn't leave. Why would you leave if you got Mary Ann and Ginger on a desert island by themselves, just like this the whole time? He's like, no, I'm sabotaging this shit. Fuck this. Oh, and my favorite character, Thurston Howell III.
That
was going to be my rap name, Eli.
Really?
Until I found out it was taken.
Oh, damn it.
Right. Oh, man. So, yeah, really nothing else to say. Like I said, I would say as far as my first, like, celebrity crush, TV crush, movie crush, I would say that's always Princess Leia, especially, Return Jedi slave outfit. Next would be Mary Ann because, like I said, I've watched like every episode of Gilligan's Island like multiple times.
Well, yeah, Gilligan's Island, and like I remember like Batman '66. There was that block of TV shows. You had like Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, Batman, and like
all like back to back. Like
you
got a chance to watch them. So yeah. So rest in peace, Don Wells, and another one that just happened like maybe like an hour before we started recording.
Yeah, this is another shock. I was like totally shocked.
Like, what the hell, man? What the hell is going on? Yeah, rest in peace to Tanya Roberts. This is this thing. Now, like I said, Tanya Roberts may not be, a well-known actor to most, but if you're a young lad in the 80s,
yeah, if you were an 80s kid, if you
were a boy in the 80s, you knew who she was.
My friend, he had a poster of her on the wall. She was one of those hot poster chicks, like Heather Locklear, Heather Thomas,
Yeah, she was in that category, right?
Yeah. Farrah Fawcett, all those.
She was a Charlie's Angel.
She was on Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, she came like later on afterwards, though. She came on Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
afterwards.
She was in she was topless in Beastmaster. That's what.
Yes, and that movie was rated. Was that rated PG?
PG. We were just talking about this, like only in the 80s where tits and swearing and F-bombs were in PG movies.
Right, just like, what the hell? I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this, man. This is ridiculous. Look at, like I said, if you were a boy in the 80s, you knew who she was.
Wasn't she in Sheena? She played the Sheena in the movie Sheena, the comic book Sheena. She played Sheena, Queen of the Jungle or whatever.
No, I thought that was Shayna. Or
Sheena.
I don't know, something. She was something. I don't know. That's what I was wondering. Was it based on the comic book or not? I don't know. It might have been.
I think that's Beastmaster. That's from Beastmaster. I recognize that from Beastmaster. She just put her top back on.
Right. You remember that scene like burn in your brain. I remember that.
Yeah.
Not only that, she was also a Bond girl.
She was A View to Kill.
A View to Kill. That was the first Bond movie I ever seen. Roger Moore was like 258 years old playing, Bond. But you know what? It didn't even matter. He quit when he found out that he was older than Tanya Roberts' mom. He was like, "No, it's time for me to quit. I'm out." Oh man. So, but here's the thing. After all she did all that, honestly, the thing that people probably remember her most from is that 70s show.
Yeah. What was her name?
Midge on that 70s show. She
Midge,
was Donna's mom.
Midge, yeah. That was
Midge on the 70s show. Eli, what you think? Hottest TV mom ever?
Ever? Oh.
Maybe? I'm just saying. We always bring this up. And we didn't bring up Midge's, Donna's mom. We didn't bring up Midge last time we talked about this. Like I said, we had Claire Huxtable. I had the Sylvia Guerrero from Modern Family. I can't remember.
Yeah. If we're going,
she's so hot. It's like she don't even count.
Yeah.
But
if we're going by I'm not an adult. I mean, when I wasn't an adult, I had a crush on. I don't know what's her name from Silver Spoons. The
Was she a mom though? That's thing. We're crossing the line here.
Was she the mom? Or he was just
Was she the
banging her?
mom? I think she was just a girlfriend. You talking about Aaron Gray?
Aaron Gray.
If she was a mom, she would count.
Yeah,
But
Wilma from she was on Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers, yeah, 25th Century. Yeah. Gilligan's Island classic. Hope they don't reboot it. I'm surprised they haven't rebooted it. They reboot everything.
Yeah,
like a TV show. Hot Milfs. Yeah. 616, man. Name your hottest TV mom. And we'll go from there. Because that's what this show is about. We sometimes talk about comics. Can we move on to the next part of it? What is the next part of it? Honestly, I don't even know. Let's just click this, just see.
We got a ton of show.
We got to let's just breeze through this shit. I'm just gonna briefly talk about this because I saw people upset about this, so I'm gonna just briefly address this. Where is it? Man, I suck at this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so a lot of people upset that The Office is leaving Netflix. Oh, what was me? But nobody's canceling their subscription. Oh, most people don't already know, but yeah, Netflix raised their subscription up another $1 last month. So get ready for that. If you don't know where The Office is going and you want to see The Office, is going to Peacock. Yeah,
or you could just watch the reruns on like Comedy Central or TBS or whatever.
Nobody watches TV. What is this, 2018? But yeah, if you want to see it, it's on Peacock. Peacock is not a porn site. Peacock is NBC's like official streaming network, thing like that. Now it's a catch. You can watch the first 2 seasons for free, but if you want to watch the rest of it, you got to sign up. That's how they get you.
Oh man.
But I think if you got like a cable service or
you might as well just get cable again with all these subscriptions, man.
That's the thing. So we got this Peacock, we got Amazon Prime, we got Netflix, we got Disney Plus, we got HBO Max, we got all this, probably some other stuff I'm forgetting. CBS All Access, you know. So when you start adding up all this stuff, you're paying more than what you pay for cable.
Yeah. Plus your internet connection and all that shit. Yeah, you might as well just get cable again.
Right. It's like you cut the cord, but you just put the cord back in there. So
yeah.
I don't know. So that's the thing if you want to get The Office. What do we have next on this list? Honestly, I'm blind. I can't see what the fuck I wrote.
Am I up? Yeah. Okay, yes. This made my New Year's Day.
this was big on social media, so impress me, Eli.
I was waiting for this. Yes. I actually did the free trial of YouTube and watched the first 2 seasons last year. Yeah, but it started out on YouTube. YouTube Red or whatever, or YouTube, Gold or whatever. The YouTube had a streaming service for a while.
Right. Not RedTube, which is also a porn site. So.
Yeah, this was their big hit. This is what they tried to launch with. And so the first 2 seasons were on YouTube. YouTube canceled their streaming site. Netflix picked it up and put out the 3rd season, which aired New Year's Day, which that's what I did my New Year's Day. Sat around and binge watched the whole season. Had a blast, but I'm kind of bummed that it's over. So this is the Karate Kid 30 years later in the lives of the Karate Kid. Cobra Kai, we pick up Johnny Lawrence, his quest for redemption. His life has been in the shitter ever since Daniel LaRusso kicked his ass at the All Valley Karate Tournament back in '84. Living like shit, has a kid he never sees. He decides to open Cobra Kai, the Cobra Kai dojo back up, and he starts teaching these kids of this millennial generation. And he gets taught, very hard lessons about, the today's woke culture. He is not woke at all. And that's what he's a man out of time, and it's fucking hilarious. He's not on the internet. He's not woke. He is totally toxic, masculine prick. And then he meets all these kids of this generation, and that's where we start to see his transition and his journey towards redemption. On the flip side, we have Daniel LaRusso, who is now a rich asshole. Hot MILFs, yeah. So we pick up Cobra Kai is on. Yeah, Big Willie's in the house. What up?
What up, Big Willie?
Season 3 picks up. I'm not gonna spoil it. I know you haven't watched it, so in case you want to check it out. They're very, like I said, they're very brisk binges. 30-minute episodes.
How many episodes? Like this
10 per season, like 10 per. So like you can get, like, I watched what, 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. How long did that take? I suck at math. 2 an hour. There's 10 of them. So yeah, 5 hours. So yeah, we pick up this new season. Last season was a cliffhanger. We get to see the remnants, the aftermath of what has happened. There was a big, huge brawl, karate brawl in the high school, which, and we're dealing with the aftermath of what has happened. Some kids got injured, some kids got suspended, some kids are on the run because, they broke the law. We're dealing with that. We're dealing with Daniel and Johnny trying to come to terms. Kreese, the original Cobra Kai,
Johnny.
Yeah, the original sensei of the Cobra Kai, he has returned, and he's a fucking psychopath maniac. So yeah, all this shit is happening. But what I love about the show, besides the fact that Johnny's just this asshole, but they deal with bullying. They really deal with bullying, and they deal with why these bullies do what they do. All seasons, this whole show is a love letter to all the movies, like even the shitty third one.
I don't remember the third one.
Yeah.
Was it Hilary Swank or?
No, she was the next Karate Kid.
Oh, okay. When Jaden Smith, it was. I don't remember. I just remember.
Oh no, Jaden was like the remake with Jackie Chan.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't put it by them if they would go into that. Like,
right, that's what like it might just show up,
But yeah, the show deals with bullying, and it and why they do the things. The show goes into it's very character driven, and we get to see why these characters do what they do. We go in, even Kreese. This season we go into Kreese's backstory, and we get to see him in Vietnam. So it's like, yeah, it's like the Punisher, Nam.
Right. So he's crazy and fucked up.
Okay. Yeah. So and I'm not condoning.
Rambo,
yeah, I'm not condoning what these bullies do, but you understand why they do what they're doing.
Right.
And that's the core of the show. We understand the characters. It goes totally in depth to their backstories, and we understand everything they do. And they don't always make the right choices. When dealing with these negative emotions, they don't make the right decisions, and you understand that. And this show is just thriving on that. Everybody isn't saying what they need to hear. You know what I mean? Like, if they would just say the thing that they need to hear, then everybody would be fine. But it's just human drama. And that's the driving force of the show. I mean, yeah, there's all these Easter eggs to the movies. So if you're a fan of the movies, it goes deep, like really deep into the Karate Kid lore. Yeah, you're spoiling it, man. Willie.
I don't know who Terry Silver is, so okay.
Hassa, his Vietnam buddy, Kreese's Vietnam buddy. He was in part 3, the rich guy who. It's
like I said, I was thinking that was Hilary Swank the whole time, but if it's on Netflix, maybe I'll binge watch it.
Hilary Swank, Terry Silver, same thing. But yeah, that's beside it just being a love letter to the original movies, it's just great drama, just a great character driven story, and I'm still loving it. Like 3 seasons, I'm like, damn it, I can't wait for season 4. So this is a double thumbs up for me, yo.
It took over my timeline. It took over my timeline. It was like one of those things,
Yeah, I was like live. I was watching it all day, and I was just like posting about it, as it went along. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun if you're a fan of the movies. If you're just a fan of the '80s, there's a lot of callbacks to just that era, and it's a lot of fun. So I even ended up downloading. They had a sale on PlayStation Network. I downloaded the Cobra Kai video game, and I've been playing it last couple days.
They had a Cobra Kai video game?
Yeah. It's like Bad Dudes or Streets of Rage. It's a side
Really, when you just
scrolling,
going down the street beating it?
just beating the shit out of people. It's a blast.
Okay. Don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's go back to 616 Man. Courtney Cox wasn't a mom.
What mom was she?
She wasn't a mom.
Is she a
Are you
mom?
talking about Cougar Town? I guess Cougar
I
Town.
don't even know. I was gonna say Friends. Was she? Did she have a kid on Friends?
No, maybe like after the show. Oh, Big Willie, if you don't know what's going on, if you came in late, we're naming hottest TV MILFs. I guess respect for Midge. On that 70s show.
Are we counting what's her face on Silver Spoon's a mom?
Yeah,
Erin Gray.
You would know that, Willie. You would know that if Erin Gray was the mom on Silver Spoon, because if so, she counts. If not, she doesn't count. So,
or was she just a harlot?
Right, just one of the girlfriends that came by. Oh, where are we? Oh, I think I'm up. Let's see. Okay. I don't sound too excited for this one. So you saw a movie. I saw a movie. Well, you saw a TV show. I saw a movie. Even though I saw this last week, but since we let Wonder Woman just dominate it, so people could just chime in and just shit on the movie, to just get our views up, we decided to wait for it and come back now. So now we're going to talk about Soul, that was on Disney Plus. Overall, she was just a hoe. I guess so. Yeah.
God bless those hoes.
But yeah, it was alright. Everybody else going crazy over like it was the greatest movie. It was alright. I mean,
what is this about? Is this about like people dying or something?
Yes. Okay. Let me tell you what the plot is about. Honestly, I don't care about spoiling what the fuck.
So it's like Coco.
I didn't see Coco. I don't know.
Oh, Coco is about people dying, like the afterlife and shit.
That's what this was. So this is a black Coco, basically, I guess. So yeah, basically
Black
about this guy. He's this musician. Yeah. It's the first black lead in a Pixar movie, which is one reason why I decided to see it. So Jamie Foxx is the lead.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's about him. He's this middle-aged school teacher. Something happened, so it was a great movie. I'm glad you like it, Willie. Like I said, he was a school teacher. He got this big break. Right when he got this big break, he dies. He goes to the great beyond or great before, whatever fuck like that. And then hilarity ensues.
He didn't die in front of his kid, did he? Like all those Disney movies?
Oh, no. He's a loser. He didn't have kids or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's kind of sad, too.
Right. This is Pixar. So, it tugs on the heartstrings, like, towards the end. Like, they really go for you right there. The thing about this movie, though, is that I don't think it's a kid's movie. Like, I think a lot of the pacing and the subject matter and the themes they're talking about, I don't think a kid would get this. This isn't Incredibles. It's just like throwing shit at you.
Shit, The Incredibles ain't even. I try to get my kid to watch The Incredibles. She don't give a shit.
Really? Not. I can understand the second one, but even the first one, she didn't like.
I thought she would because there's all the action. But do you remember there's like a half hour before any action happens in The Incredibles? So that just didn't.
See, when I watch Incredibles, I just fast forward to the last 30 minutes. Basically to the "Where's my super suit" part, and just watch it from there. But yeah, Soul was the same way where it was like. Don't expect any Incredibles action. But here's the thing about this movie that I had when you watch it again, the animation is so good, you kind of forget about it. You take it for granted because it's so good. Like your mind switches off, like it's almost real, even though it's not real. That's the thing. So it's weird. It's like it crosses the uncanny valley, but you take it for granted. So instead of you being amazed by the animation, since it's so lifelike and realistic, you just into it. You don't think twice about
wow.
it. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't wow you because it's so realistic. It's like if you were a cartoon. Like I wouldn't be amazed at you. I was just like, that's just Eli. Like somebody just drew you. Oh, Eli. Not like that. But that's my thing about that. But it was a good movie. It's not the best Pixar movie they ever made. It's not the worst either. Honestly, the first 30 minutes of it, I thought the shit was like boring as hell. I'm like, man, get to the point. Where are we going with this? About halfway through the movie, you kind of see where they're going. And then when they finally get to the ending, like a Pixar movie, the ending isn't the ending that you think they're going to give you. And then they start tugging at the heartstrings and stuff like that, But overall, good movie. I do want to address this, though, because people are getting upset. Like I said, this is the first black-led Pixar movie. And I think the director of this movie is also black. So people are going to get controversy about this and get upset about it also. Before we get there, let's see what we got here. 616 Man, Black Coco. What the fuck Pixar really needs ghost story? It's a ghost story. It is. I never seen Coco, but that's what this is.
Yeah, I mean, my kid. Yeah, again, my kid couldn't get into Coco either. She didn't like Coco. I couldn't. What's that movie, Inside Out, about your emotions and shit? She
Yes.
didn't give a shit of that. I bought her that DVD. It's sitting there collecting
I
dust. She don't give
really
a
don't
shit.
think she's gonna get into this either because
Yeah,
it's not
you
that
know,
movie. Like I said, it's a very slow pace. It takes its time. It's a slow burn.
yeah.
You know.
Wreck It
But I do
Ralph
want
and How to Train Your Dragon. That's her shit.
right.
Shit with
Now
like,
I do right. You want shit to just go all over the place.
yeah.
Right.
That's a Kung Fu Panda. That's the shit she likes.
Kung Fu Panda was awesome. I like that
It
shit.
is, yeah.
But
She's
anyway,
she's a big fan of those. Yeah.
okay. I'm a big fan of Kung Fu Panda. That shit was awesome. Jack Black is a genius. Anyway, these movies, I do want to address because, like I said, anytime you throw the first black something, there will always be controversy. One of the controversies from people that haven't seen the movie, they're throwing accusations at it because you know how Pixar, well, not Pixar, but any animation, like whenever they say like the first black something, but really like the black lead gets either killed off or transformed into something, turned to a ghost, turned to a frog, turned into a pigeon or some shit, and they just that for the rest of the movie. People saying that's a trope in like cartoons where they say it's a black something, but then it's really not because it's an animal the whole time. This actually isn't that. So people are getting upset and pissed off for a movie they hadn't even seen. It's not that. Hate to spoil it, but after the whole ghost thing happens, he comes back, and he's pretty kind of not really
As an animal, does he come back?
No, he doesn't come back as an animal. What? Actually, he does, but but you have to watch it to understand. I don't want to spoil it, but I think they did it a better way than they usually do it.
The
And
donkey.
also, right? Oh shit! Now you piss me off about the movies. I actually, like I love Shrek, but now you pissing me off with Shrek. Now.
Shrek's great. Yeah.
Shrek is great.
And Donkey's
Eddie
great.
Murphy's a genius. You know, but still. Oh man, I can quote that movie all day. But and another controversy, people like I said, people that haven't seen the movie are accusing the movie that they haven't seen of being the magical Negro trope. I don't think it's that. And you know what, Eli? I think that's something we never actually talked about on this podcast before. But I think I need to go into deeper with it on another episode because that's a whole lot to break down. But I don't think this is that. Now, normally the magical Negro trope is basically like the non-black person, or non-color person, or white person, whatever like that is having this dilemma or this conflict, something like that, and the black person just swoops down out of nowhere, gives them a skill, teaches them something, give them superpowers or something, and then after it's done, they just fly away or get killed off or get kidnapped or whatever the fuck Morgan Freeman did in any one of his movies, you know, whatever fuck. So this isn't
So he lived through Shawshank Redemption.
I guess I don't know.
Get busy living, get busy dying.
Get busy. I was talking more about Bruce Almighty because he basically was that Bruce Almighty. But yeah,
I never saw what's the movie, the golfing movie with Will Smith.
Will Smith. Oh, he's definitely there. Matter of fact, if you go to like the trope page of that, Will Smith face is there. You know, like that's that. You know,
and you wonder why. Oh, I won't go there. I won't.
Hey,
that's a bad topic.
We can keep going, right? But I mean, Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus in Matrix, he's that. You know.
Yeah, I guess.
We can keep going, but I'm not gonna go there. That's not what we're here. The reason I feel like it's not that here is because normally, like I said, when the magical Negro comes down to give him superpowers, he flies away or get killed off, something like that. No, he's the main focus of this story. Like the story is about Jamie Foxx's character. So even though he does, you know, teach and give superpowers, stuff like that, it's still focused on him. So they like help each other, which I like that. You know. Oh, and Tina Fey is the other character in the movie also. Like the person he has to help with it like that. So I think it's not what people think it is. I think they're mindful of the tropes that they, you know, could actually fall into, like a manhole. I think they avoid that for the most part. So I think for that part they're good.
Yeah, there's always gonna be like you said, the first when it's that first one through the door, the first one making that breakthrough, there's gonna be everyone critical of it. Oh, did it do this? Did it do that? Did it, you know, is it the most perfect? Because they want it to be the perfect thing. And right. when it isn't, then it gets criticized for not being the best perfect representation for everybody ever.
Right.
You know,
I think there was the same thing with the Princess Frog, like the movie about the first black Disney princess, Princess Tiana.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen the movie, Eli, but basically she turned to a frog like the first 15 minutes and she's dead for the rest of the movie. You know. I don't even know if she even turns back. I think she's just that for the rest of the movie, you know. But that's what it is, and we're supposed to be happy for that kind of representation. I don't know, you know. But this
No.
movie, I think they were mindful. You could feel the movie was mindful of avoiding tropes like that, and it was trying to be that. Not like I said, it's a perfect movie, but I'm glad that they took some steps to do that. You know, like we're not going to go that route. We're going to make sure we don't do this thing. So, Magic and Word Troll really does sound like Will Smith.
Yeah, the golf movie.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Black Coco, yeah. So I'll talk way about. Honestly, like I said, this is a movie I will never watch again. It was cool that they made it. It wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know. Give me honestly, I didn't even like Incredibles 2 that much. To be honest with you, I thought it was okay. That's just me. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Let's see. Oh, okay. We're going to the list now, Eli. We're going to the list. Like I said,
The list.
this is the list. Like I said, we just came out of 2020, and even though we're not going to talk about the fucked up shit in 2020, like, you know, the riots and the pandemic and the Civil War and the murder hornets.
What's your favorite riot of 2020?
Top 10 favorite race war riots of 2020.
Yeah. Minnehaha Lake Street, you know.
Right. So we're not doing that. We're not going to go there. We're just going to keep this easy and breeze and just keep it entertainment wise. Because honestly, every year we've been doing this podcast, we do like a best of. And then I started looking at the best of list and just honestly just reminiscing of 2020. I was like, oh, fuck. You know, fuck Facebook. Because every day in Facebook, they send me a status of what I made last year this time. And I can see right now in the third day of January, the month just goes to shit further and further. Like, remember, we hadn't even got to the point last year when they set Australia on fire.
Oh, yeah.
That started the whole thing off.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, let's keep this jovial.
The best of, yeah, we got the best of 2020.
The best of, not the bullshit, the best of. Yeah.
What got us through this shit?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. The shit that got us through this shit show of 2020. You know? I'm trying to think what we're gonna start with first. Let's start with the big guns first, Eli. Let's go with best movie. What was your favorite movie of 2020? Now, doesn't matter about theatrical, just best movie. Period.
Yeah, the best movie that I saw this year, Blood Quantum. You know, on Shudder.
Talk about Blood Quantum a lot. Yeah.
Yes, Blood Quantum, the Native American movie with zombies, exclusively on Shudder. It's the zombie apocalypse with natives. Natives are immune to the zombie virus. They get bit by zombies, they don't turn, but everyone else does. So they're immune to the zombie outbreak. So just that, like all great zombie movies that have a social political commentary, this leans very heavily into that. You know, the fact that, you know, this movie is just basically a native movie. What I love about this is a Native American movie made by natives for natives. Native Americans are the demographic for this movie because we are never ever a demographic for any movie. We're not even in most of them. So the fact that this was made for natives is a huge step because a lot of what goes on is shit that natives will get. Natives will understand. And I've seen reviews by non-natives. It's okay. It's okay. And yeah, it's an okay zombie movie. It's an okay horror flick. You know, it's nothing groundbreaking in that regards. But this movie is all populated by native characters and they're just dealing with shit. And it's just a statement to native history, what natives deal with and how natives still survive. And the fact that all the shit that Native Americans have been through for for centuries, all the oppression and genocide and, you know, all that shit that they've survived when the zombie apocalypse happens, they just deal with it like everything else they've dealt with. They survive. So that just, it, to me, it made me feel, it was like our Black Panther moment. You know what I mean? You know, one of the best scenes was seeing an old native guy with a samurai sword chopping down a horde of zombies to a powwow song was playing as the musical score. You know, so just that moment just gave me shivers and just made me proud. So
let me
Yeah.
ask you this: did the movie ever? Obviously not. Did it ever come to the theaters?
No, it was supposed to, but because of the pandemic,
Because of the pandemic, right?
it went to Shudder. It was
And that's the
in
funny thing
fact
about it.
they were going to do a premiere here in Minneapolis, and me and my brother, Fat T, and Izzy, we were going to go. Like we were going to go to the premiere and shit, and do like when I was doing my Geek Sass podcast, we were going to like try and do a Q&A and shit and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
it got canceled because of the pandemic. So
Yeah.
then it just went straight to Shudder. Shudder picked it up, and it's exclusively on Shudder. I actually ordered a DVD. I got the Blu-ray just to support native artists. So but yeah, like I'm saying, this is like I said, as a horror movie, it's okay. Nothing you haven't seen before. But as the native movie, there's nothing else like it. So that's
Right.
the best thing I've watched this year, in my
Right.
opinion.
And that's the main thing that you can tell that it was told through the lens of, of a Native American. That way, because you
Yeah.
can tell. You can
Yeah.
tell who's who's behind the scenes of these movies.
Yeah.
You know.
So
I guess I can go. Like I said, we're not gonna do top five. We're just gonna go back and forth. My favorite, Bad Boys for Life. Not to say it was the greatest movie of all time and changed my life, or it was some great think piece. I just like the movie. I don't know. Just blew
yeah.
a bunch of shit. Will Smith, Marlon. Here's the funny thing about it. Like I said, they're bad boys, but they're both in their 50s. So I'm glad the movie actually went out of their way to address that. Hold on, let me see.
I did not see that. I saw, was it Gemini Man?
Okay, I was gonna say that. Here's the thing: this movie has the exact same plot as Gemini Man.
Really? Their
Yeah,
clones come back to kill them?
No, I'll spoil it for you. Everybody's seen the movie. Spoilers. Cut us off if you listen, whatever like that. But spoilers. Will Smith's son is the bad guy. So
Jaden Smith?
No. It's just,
Oh, like his son in the movie.
his son in the movie, an actor playing his son in the movie,
Okay.
right? Is the main bad guy of the movie, not Jaden Smith coming and shoot him up and shit like that.
No, but I saw Gemini Man. I thought it was alright.
Gemini Man was okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you watch this, it's basically the same thing.
It was on Hulu, so I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like I said, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, chemistry, back and forth. It's still there. Honestly, this is my favorite Bad Boys movie because it's not directed by Michael Bay. It's actually directed by somebody. Yeah. Matter of fact, the people that directed this are directing the Miss Marvel show because they were like Middle Eastern, whatever like that. So Marvel saw it, picked them up, boom, let's go with it.
All right. Cool.
Like I said, the movie had emotional moments to it. Heart with a Witch never were in the other Bad Boy movies because, like I said, it's Michael Bay. He just wants to just blow shit up all day. So they actually took their time with this movie.
And have like an underage Megan Fox in it and shit, being a stripper or whatever.
Right, in the other movies. Yes, and they address it. That's the thing. They address Martin Lawrence like this ain't Will Smith still look like he's in shape to do action scene. Martin Lawrence clearly does not. And they use that, for comedic effect in this movie. So I like that. Like I said, it didn't change my life or anything like that. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
So where are we at now? Okay. Let's do something easy breezy. TV show.
Yeah. Okay. There was a lot of shit I watched. I would say Cobra Kai, but technically that's not 2020. So yeah. I'll go with The Boys. Yeah, I'll go with The Boys season 2.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Damn, yeah. I had a blast. It was great. I thought I was gonna be. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, but it blew me away, and it really expanded the universe, and really, yeah, a lot of cool shit happened. Everybody knows it's the superheroes are assholes show. Very violent, hard violence, very bloody and visceral and brutal, and and very political as well. It deals with a lot of timely issues, and yeah, I had a blast. Basically, this year's Watchmen for me. As far as like the comic book realm. I try to keep it into like the nerdy shit, but I did watch a lot of TV shit this year. So
like I said, I really didn't watch that much TV, even though it was a pandemic. I think I just played video games the whole time. But my favorite TV show that I saw this year was Mando.
Oh shit, yeah, that'd be on there too. That would be up there.
Mando season 2 was on there. That was the show where all Star Wars fans put down the guns and laser rifles at each other, and we like came to a truce. We were like, okay, it's fine. We're gonna sit down collectively and enjoy this show and enjoy this show. Like I said, Mando season 1, I thought pretty good.
Yeah.
Space western, gun smoking space. I'm fine. This one definitely ramped it up.
Yeah.
Was it fan servicey? Yes, but I'm a fan, so.
Is that a bad thing? Like, that's a bad thing.
Is it a bad thing? I'm mad because you gave me what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
like,
man.
don't give the fans what you want.
Right.
Like,
that's what we got in this situation.
Yeah. This show made Star Wars great again.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't think of a single person that is a Star Wars fan that didn't like this show. This show is getting people that's not even into Star Wars. I mean, mainly because of Baby Groot. I mean, baby Yoda.
Baby Groot.
Baby Groot. Not
same thing.
Yeah, because they said Grogu and I get them confused in my head. But yeah, Baby Yoda, so it's a thing. So
yeah.
Let's see what we're going to do next. This might be a tough one, Eli. Favorite album or best album?
Best album. Well, I'm a metal guy.
Yeah,
so
go for it. Yeah.
I listened to this. There was a lot of shit. I mean, like, it was a pandemic, so I had nothing to do but to sit around and chill and. There was a lot of shit that I listened to this year. It's hard to pinpoint one that was like that blew me away, but off the top of my head, I got to go with the band called Meth Leopard. Okay. The album is Woke, and they're a grindcore band. Grindcore is basically the bottom line of death metal.
616 Man for a little while.
Yeah. Wait till Patty Jenkins directs Rogue One. Or Rogue Squadron or whatever. Yeah.
I'll be choking Eli through the screen.
Or wait till was it the High Republic? What's that shit coming out?
No, Rogue Squad. Yeah, Rogue Squadron, High Republic, whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that the new comics and the books that are coming out. The new High Republic series. There's like trans Jedi characters. That's gonna that's gonna set a bunch of people off.
Oh shit.
But no, my favorite album, I'm just going to say Meth Leopard, grindcore band, Woke. Most of people who are listening to this podcast probably will not like it, but I don't give a fuck. But that's my shit. I'm into death metal. I'm into grindcore. I'm a metal guy. So that's my favorite shit.
Cool. Okay. My favorite album of the year, like I said, I'm not a death metal guy. I mainly listen to rap most of the time. That's what I do. So I'm going to put a rap album up there. My favorite, Benny the Butcher, Burden of Proof.
That's a good album.
Love that album. Matter of fact, just if you haven't heard Griselda, listen to all their music. They drop music like all the time.
Everybody dropped like 2 albums. Conway.
I mean, any one of their albums could have been album of the year for me.
West Side Gun. Pray for Paris. I mean, that they all put out. They all put out good. That Conway with Alchemist album, that was dope too. That Lulu or whatever, that shit was dope too.
Yeah. So like I said, they dropped so many projects. So definitely listen to them because they put out a bunch of stuff on there. Burden of Proof. I think that was his best production because that was done by Hit Boy, who also did Nas' album, which Nas' album almost made my list also, but not quite. But when, like I said, Benny Bush came out, he just felt fresh, Maybe after, if I haven't heard, like 13 albums from Nas, maybe he'd be up there, but it's kind of like he just doing what Nas does. It's like, it's like an MCU movie. You know what you're getting. What do we got? I think let's go to... I guess we're going to go to the video game section. What's your favorite video game this year that dropped this year?
Well, that dropped this year?
Yeah.
I don't know what... Well, I'm just going to put Ghost of Tsushima because that's the only one
it?
I did. I haven't beaten it because, I don't have time to, play for hours and hours on end.
Well, they dropped like more DLC to play.
Yeah. So I didn't even finish this first game. But
take this.
Yeah. So, but it's cool. I mean, it's that same adventure single player campaign, like the Arkham games or like the Spider-Man game. Only you're a samurai. It looks really cool. The graphics are dope. The battle system's dope. It's just cool. Roaming the the land of feudal Japan as this Ronin warrior, slicing heads, cutting necks. It's cool. Other than that, the other game I really played was Streets of Rage.
Street Race
4 or
4.
whatever. Yeah, I don't know if that came out this year though. Is that where is that?
I
Is that
think
thing
it
here?
did. I think it
Is
did.
that here? Oh, where's that? It came. I had the keychain. I bought the game and it came like the keychain. I don't know
I
where it
played
is.
it
It
on
was sitting
like
there.
Xbox Game Pass or whatever.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's pretty
it's
cool.
uh,
Yeah.
it's old school. I like those.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like the Cobra Kai game.
Right.
Where you just side scroll,
Just a
kicking
guy go down
ass.
just beating shit out of people. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. So my favorite game, unpopular opinion. You already know what I'm gonna say. Avengers.
Avengers.
I don't care. I don't care. I realized when I looked at my Steam like minutes because it keep up with how long you played the game, and I've already put 100 hours in the game already. I'm like, oh shit, time just flies. So how can we mad at a game I put that much time in? You know, I flew through the story mode. I'm just sitting here just like grinding and building up my characters. And Hulk, give me a game with Hulk where he just smashing shit. I'm fun. I don't ask for much. Just give me that. And everybody plays differently. You got Hulk, you got Thor. Thor flies around doing shit. Iron Man, got his rockets. Captain America, run wall runs like that. I still haven't got to Black Widow yet. I think she like all her moves play like Dante from Devil May Cry, some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I remember because I played
Yeah,
the demo or whatever.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then they just dropped Kate Bishop in there, so she's got all kind of. I think I did like a stream with Kate Bishop on there. She got like explosive arrows and shit, and she teleports.
Yeah, wasn't
Some
she like flying or something?
Well, that's a glitch.
Okay.
so yeah, but like I said, all that stuff in the game, I'm fine with it. I hope they keep dropping more characters. Like I said, Maestro is supposed to drop. I don't know, whenever, but whenever he's supposed to be next thing drop whenever that happens. So yeah,
That's
what do we got
cool.
next? Yeah, I guess we can do best comic book series
Okay,
of the
hold
year.
up, hold up, hold up. I could do this. I actually prepared for this one.
Oh, cool.
Uh,
Okay, let's see what you got.
I have
All right, hold on.
boom.
I got you. I got you. Let's see. Boom. Dead. That's Wonder Woman, right?
Wonder Woman, Dead Earth,
Mm-hmm.
written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson. So this one, I'm a huge Daniel Warren Johnson fan. I know he's an acquired taste.
Mm-hmm.
His art isn't pretty and slick, and both games are great. Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
are. Yeah, they require a lot of time, which
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of. With having kids and all that. So, but no, back to this Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm a huge fan. I love pretty much everything he does. And when I heard he was doing a Wonder Woman book all by himself, writing and drawing it, doing
On Black
double
Label.
duties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Wonder Woman. It's a Elseworld story on the Black Label. Has her Diana waking up like 500 years into the future, and Earth has been decimated by these monsters, and she helps the last remnants of humanity battle these monsters. And Daniel Warren Johnson, his art style, I know it's an acquired taste, but I love it. It's not slick and pretty. It's very raw, gritty, visceral. His action is just full of so much kinetic energy, and brutal. It's very brutal and very violent. She uses Superman's spine as a weapon.
What the hell?
Yes, this was way more metal than Dark Knight's death metal.
I kept asking you, is this metal? Is this metal enough?
Yes, this was totally fucking metal. It was brutal, and yeah, out of everything that I've read, this is probably I just got to give it to this. This is the one I was most excited for, and it pretty much delivered. So yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I gotta stop. Okay, stop
No, I
sharing.
get you out of there. Okay.
Okay, cool. There you go.
I could. I just was trying to be polite. That's all. All right. So my favorite, and I started really thinking about what was my favorite series this year. And honestly, I'm gonna go with, and this may be a unpopular opinion, but where is it? Yeah. X-Men Fantastic Four. I love this fucking series, man. I love this fucking series just because there was so many awesome moments. It was written by Chip Zdarsky. It was his thing. Finally, somebody called out the X-Men on the dumb shit they've been doing. The Fantastic Four calling, y'all are not the X-Men, y'all are the Brotherhood. Like X-Men, like, nah, we're good. Then why the fuck is Magneto in my living room? Shit like that. Let's see what do we got here.
Why do you got Sinister on the fucking
Right, all this
on the
crazy shit. Like,
Quiet Council?
right, so many epic moments like Magneto versus Invisible Woman. Like Magneto was just throwing cars and shit like that. And when Invisible Woman found out she's trying to take Franklin out the house, she just went like Mama Bear mode. And I'm like, oh fuck, Invisible Woman is a fucking badass. When she wants to be. Even the fact like awesome scenes like when they were like invisible in the Quiet Council, and Nightcrawler feel like they're here. They're in here somewhere. We need to stop talking, because they can hear everything we're saying. Or even when Doctor Doom shows up and he tells Franklin, I know I'm Doctor Doom and I'm the most evil motherfucker in the world, but I would have never done this shit that your dad did to you. He's fucked up. So it was just like so many awesome ones. And the best part of the ending, when Professor X found out what Miss Fantastic did, yes, it was awesome. When Charles Xavier found out what Reed did to his son to hide his mutant gene, that was some cold shit. Not only did he mind wipe him, he made it so he knew he mind wiped him. So and they just walked out of the room with him and Magneto. I'm like, this is some cold shit. So I love the series. I love the series. It was better than anything else I read. I just enjoyed it. So I said, it's not metal, but
it was pretty metal. I think it was more metal than death metal.
It was probably more metal than death. That's bad when Fantastic Four is more metal than death metal. So yeah.
No, this is a good series. I dug on this too.
Okay, now favorite single issue.
Favorite single issue? I'm wondering if we're gonna have the same one.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I'll go. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is just off the top of my head. I didn't put too much thought into it, so I'm just gonna go with this.
I knew you were gonna. Yeah, and that I was thinking. I was like, is it? It's actually not on my list.
Oh, okay.
But I thought about it.
It was a toss up. I mean, this is because it's. Remember we didn't have comics for a while, so it was hard to choose. Like, so I just pretty much going by what I've read lately, and it was either this or Last Ronin. So,
shit, yo,
I chose
Last Ronin.
I just chose this just because like this was the first one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And it was like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right, it was just there. Last Ronin was for. We're still waiting for issue 2 because Last Ronin was awesome.
Yeah. So I went with King in Black. The Null has finally came, and so did I. This first issue, they just stormed the gate, just fucking hit the ground running, and got the shit going. And this was just a big what the fuck, the symbiote celestials, all that. It was just a crazy book. Yeah. Just
ripping Sentry in half.
He ripped Sentry in half. Everything that it kicked off. This is how you kick off an event.
Right. Donny Cates is thinking they can't lose. They just can't lose.
It's Stegman and Donny Cates are like, like I said, Snyder and Capullo doing Batman. Their styles just mend so well together, and this got the book going. It stormed the gate. Hasn't kept up the momentum, but this first issue would just blew me away. So
this first issue, like it knocked everybody's socks off. I was on Twitter monitoring. Everybody was going crazy when they read this issue.
Yeah. So like I said, it was either this or Last Ronin, and Last Ronin was cool too. So that's an honorable mention. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Last Ronin.
It's on my list. If we were doing the top 5, Last Ronin would be on my list. Also.
Yeah, this is a close second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my number one. Like I said, King of Black got beat out by this issue. Thor number 6. Herald of None. Yeah.
Is that the one? Okay, go ahead. I think I know which one this is.
That's the one where he kills Galactus.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking awesome. Like you just read, and it's also made by Donny Cates also. Just an awesome book. Just when you read the book and you seeing like Galactus, like I don't know what's powerful. It was just art. I don't know who did the artwork on this one, but this shit was just as awesome as like anything else that Donny Cates has been working on. And then the fact that Thor had Galactus' head sitting in front of the Bifrost Bridge, just sitting there while he was drinking ale, telling Silver Surfer how he killed his boss. I was like, this shit is fucking awesome. That's why, and this is the reason why I put it over King of Black, because like the issue 3 of King of Black is going to be Thor versus Null. Yes, he ripped through Sentry like he was no business. But after I saw what Thor did to Galactus in that book, like all like death battles and versus battles the internet has, with Thor versus whoever, like Goku and Superman and Luke Skywalker, that shit is dead. Hulk, fuck that shit. This Thor will run through all those guys. That's when I see when like all this bullshit Null did in the first issue. If I see this Thor coming down to fuck with him, I'm scared for Null. That's that's how crazy this shit is. Oh man. So I think that's it. I think when we move on to the next part of the podcast.
Yeah, because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not doing worst movies or worst.
No. Honestly, and that's the thing about the reason we're not gonna do the worst of the worst, because if it's bad, why put your energy into it? Just ignore it. Just move on. You
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
I
I
had a
could
hard
put
time.
Batwoman on here and shit like that, but why bother? Just move
Yeah,
on. You know. And I know you love to tell us how much Wonder Woman 2 sucked. Like, just move on.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next part of the podcast. Let's talk about the comic books where hold up before we get into my tagline. What do we got here? Danny Cates is a beast. Yeah, why people remember Eli when people used to shit on Danny Cates? Why?
Yeah, because
I don't.
he was doing cool shit.
Right? They were like, "Oh, Danny Cates fall." Where? How is he falling off? He doing the same shit. He probably doing better shit now than he did then. you know. But anyway, this is Comic Book Bullies where we talk about the comic books. We're just gonna jump into it because we are running long, but we're gonna fly through this shit as fast as possible. First, what we're gonna do is X-Men number 16. So yes,
All
we're
right.
back on the X train. I know I was gonna. Here's the thing. Technically, Eli, I have jumped off the X train, but if it's a Hickman written X book, I might peek my head in. I might dip my toe in the water. You know.
All right.
Yeah. So and that's about as far as it goes. So basically, what's going on with this book? Remember all the X of Swords and Ten of Swords shit that was going on. This is the aftermath of that, and Krakoa and Araco are trying to reform, but they don't want to reform. So they're trying to figure out why don't they don't want to reform. So basically, Cypher has a conversation with Krakoa, where Krakoa turns himself into like some kind of group tree, and then the other Araco turns himself into another thing and try to have a conversation. But here's the problem: they've been away for so long, for like millennia and shit like that. They no longer even speak the same language. They don't want anything to do with each other. So the Quiet Council, is having a conversation, and Magneto's just like, okay, if they don't want to get together, why the hell did we even do all that extra sword shit? Like, that was just a waste of time, you know. And then they're basically saying that the same thing that we're saying about Araco, the other island, is probably saying about the mutants on that island also. Because the thing about that island is probably 24 times more mutants compared to us than it is over there. They outnumber us. And they're older and they're more powerful. They're like, oh shit. So that's like a whole nother conversation to have. So Professor X and Magneto go over there and they talk to Iska the Unbeaten. She's the queen bee over there right now since Genesis and Apocalypse and whatever the fuck. So, and she's basically like, if you X-Men come, like if you mutants come over here, you need to understand there's one rule in Rocco, it's kill or be killed. And Magneto's just like, oh, I get it. I understand the rule. I've been trying to tell my buddy Charles this for the longest, And Charles come over there with a gift, he's trying to give him like an Araco flower where they can just hop over to the other land anytime they want to. And this kid's basically telling them, how long y'all been running y'all mutant government? And she was like, well, we just started. He was like, y'all are children. Y'all just started, and y'all running a toy child government. Y'all are nothing to us. So let us know when you catch up with us. We are the superior mutants right now. But she said, you know what? I'm going to work with y'all right now because y'all put out an olive branch. When they say come over here, all this pussy shit where you're trying to, be nice and give us good shit like that, don't come to Rocco doing this. You come over here and you ready to fight next time you come over here. So, yeah. So the next thing we go, and it's a whole bunch of back and forth. Oh, and there's this thing they talk about the what do they call it? The Ring of Araco. Like they have their own Quiet Council, and they have one rule: you have to be an Omega level mutant to even sit on the council. I thought that's pretty cool. The X-Men don't have that rule; they just have that. So anyway, so Magneto and Professor X, they realized that they need to fill the seats of the Quiet Council because they started, missing people and people got killed off, doing the Ten of Swords. So they're trying to bring Cyclops and Jean back, and they're like, nah, we're not coming back to the Quiet Council. We're done. What we're going to do, we're going to restart the X-Men, and Magneto's like, why? Fuck the X-Men. And he's like, the reason we need to start the X-Men because, yes, the Quiet Council is the government, but the people of Krakoa need a voice to speak for them, and that's the X-Men. So then Professor X is like, okay, if y'all gonna start the X-Men, well, who's gonna be your team, maybe? He's like, that's the thing. We're not going to pick the X-Men. We're going to let the people pick the X-Men. And that's where this shit came from.
Okay.
Election of the X-Men. So yeah. So the X-Men are back, I guess. Even it's issue 16 this book. The X-Men haven't been in the X-Men book. I thought it's kind of funny. But yeah, that's going on right now. Like I said, I have to keep up with Hickman doing, but Hickman keeps irritating the fuck out of me because he keeps making plot lines and plot threads that you think he's going to continue, and then the next storyline is something completely different. And he's probably doing the same shit with this right here.
He'll probably reference it like 2 years from now.
Right. I'm sick of this shit, man. Like, continue the storyline you're doing. Like, he'll probably by the time he referenced this shit again, I've completely forgot about it. By the time he do it, he'll be on another storyline by the time this thing.
He'll reference it like 2 years from now, and everybody be like, "Oh my god, that's so brilliant!" No, he's a genius.
Like people come in sentinel roles. Yeah, the tree people run shit. Like, whatever the mutants doing on Krakoa, they can't do anything unless Krakoa agree to it. So they're in charge. So 35. I'm slowly trying to get back in the X shit because that Ten of Swords, drained me for 2020. If we did a worse of 2020, that shit might be on there with a fucking fashion show when I wanted Mortal Kombat, But that's just me. So yeah, 35. What you got, Eli?
I guess I'll do Shang-Chi number 4.
Cool. Let me get you set up. You can go ahead and start this thing up. I actually did read it.
You did read it? Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had to keep up with Shang-Chi. So.
Yeah. So this is a quick recap. We have Shang-Chi. He's basically found out his dad ran the 5 Weapons Society, and he is chosen to rule them all, which sort of put a damper on his sister. What's her name? Sister Hammer.
Sister Hammer, yeah.
Yeah, she wants the title for herself. So she's this, put a little bit of drama between them. They're fighting for who gets to lead this society of these ancient kung fu fighters. But her sister has raised a bunch of hopping vampires. I forget what they're called. They got a name for them,
or
something like that. But I know them because I'm in kung fu movies, the hopping vampires. They hop.
Yeah, and he's been stabbed by one, so Shang-Chi's slowly turning into one of these zombie vampires.
Yeah, he's been infected. So we pick up this issue. His cousins or whatever, or his other brothers.
His brothers also, yeah.
Yeah, they're taking him to this mountain top to go visit. I thought it was his uncle. Remember, I was like the ghost of. We thought it
was his uncle, wasn't it?
Yeah, what we were thinking is his dad or is his uncle? It's like it might be his, and it turned out
that was his uncle. Yeah,
it is his uncle. Yeah. Let me get that. So they go to this this cave to find his uncle to cure him of this infection, and of course in the cave they find this big ass monster, which they end up fighting.
That from some kind of Chinese lore or something?
It looks kind of like a lion, but it looks also like a dragon. So
like a chimera or something.
Yeah,
like a dragon's head with
arms and shit.
Octopus arms, spider arms, and yeah. I'm pretty sure some kind of Chinese lore we don't know. So
yeah. So they're fighting that, but then Shang-Chi goes and finds his uncle, the ghost of his uncle. He puts out the spirit. This is what I thought was really interesting, and because in Native American traditions, at least in my tribe, we do this too. We would call the spirit dish. We put out food out for the spirits and stuff for them, as a prayer. And that's what he does. He goes to his uncle's grave, puts out the food, and his uncle's spirit comes and starts eating. I thought that was really cool.
So that's a thing. I didn't know they went that deep with it.
Yeah, okay. They burn incense and stuff, and so it's really cool.
And his uncle starts turning back into his uncle. At first he was like a skeleton, but yeah.
And then basically, hey, I'm infected with I'm infected with the hopping vampire virus. And can you help me? Is like I don't want to be a part of this whole, the spies and this ancient kung fu war. I just want to be a normal dude and all this stuff. And his uncle says basically, hey, you gotta make peace with your family, basically.
Deep. It tied it all together.
Yeah.
You're tearing yourself apart because you're away from your family.
Yeah, and then he reveals that his father didn't actually kill him, but sacrificed himself for
Right.
because there was
First,
like
before we get that, we got to talk about how they marvelized
the, the
whatever
opium
this war
wars.
was. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
opium
opium
wars. Yeah,
wars.
they marvelized it. Like,
Yeah,
okay, you it went one way in history books, but in Marvel, we did something different.
yeah.
And basically,
Dormammu.
right, they pray to the dark god Dread Dormammu. I've come to bargain. So they bargain with him, and the British, send hell demons, the mindless ones come out, and they just fuck everybody up. You know.
Yeah,
But then the Chinese have their own magic also. But the only way they
yeah,
can use it is if they sacrifice a loved one, just
yeah,
like
and
the Soul Stone does.
that's what his dad did. So
Hmm.
so they learned that that basically that family's important. That Shang-Chi has to make peace with his family, while his sister is ready to you know take over the world with hopping vampires.
Right.
So that's kind of where we end, and I'm
Oh,
digging.
and also this one. This was when he's talking to his sister Esme, and they having, I might be saying it wrong, but he gives her like a chocolate bar or something like that. But his brother that was cool with him the whole time starts giving that that look, like
Yeah,
like you might have
yeah,
to deal with him too later on. But next
yeah,
issue goes with the last issue, so.
yeah. So yeah, I'm digging this. This is a 4 out of 5. I'm digging. I'm
Yeah,
still digging
they
this
they
series.
already have they already have the trade for this whole series for pre-order, like already. Journey of the
Yeah,
West creatures, MK level martial artists. Yeah, basically.
yeah. And
So
again, because we're having real representation. The writer is Asian, and you can
mhm.
tell he's a fan of the genre. And we're
Artist is
seeing,
also, yeah.
yeah, we're seeing, like I said, that whole thing with his uncle, and on, with, that's part of Chinese culture.
Mhm.
So it's cool to see, real representation being portrayed in these in comics. So
So it's pretty cool because I didn't know until you broke it down for me. I didn't know they were getting that deep with it.
yeah, yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so next book we're going to do is Amazing Spider-Man number, what is this? 55? I didn't know they went. Yeah. So Amazing Spider-Man 55. Yes, I'm doing a Spider-Man book. A Peter Parker Spider-Man book at that.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker, not, Spider Cop or whatever the fuck going on. Spider Gwen, Gwen Pool, none of that shit like that. Nope. Old Pete.
Is this a
Old
King in
school.
Black tie-in?
It is not. It's
Oh,
not, and that's the weird thing. So nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with King in Black. So, basically the book starts off now. I don't know. Remember last time we talked about it, but the main bad guy. The name of the story is called Last Remains. That's a story arc that's going on for the last month or so like that. And the main bad guy is Kendrick, and it's been revealed that Kendrick is this person that has these deep ties to Peter Parker, and he knows everything about Peter Parker. It's Harry Osborn, basically. So they
yeah.
realized who it was. And Harry Osborn is just, keep talking shit to Peter. He was like, Peter, you always talking about you're this loner and you're alone, but you got all these spider friends around here. Who the fuck are these people? And then he looks at Spider Gwen. He's like, who the fuck is this? What the fuck is a Spider Gwen? You know, I know one Gwen Stacy. They dropped the ass off a bridge. I don't know who the hell this is. And then he keeps making fun of Spider Gwen. He was like, Spider Gwen, he didn't care about you. He's not looking at you. This is what he really wants, Mary Jane. Because Harry has called Mary Jane here. Now, I don't know, remember the last time we talked about the Spider-Man book where he was having dinner with all his dead, relatives and stuff like that. Now, this whole book is just a dinner between Pete, Harry, and Mary Jane. Shit between them three. So that's what the whole book's about. So all the Spider friends, Miles and Spider Gwen like that, they're there,
Can you
but
go out, Max?
they pay no attention to them.
Can you go out,
So
Max?
yeah, I still hear you. Okay.
Oh no, no, go ahead. No, my dog is. I forgot the dog's. I should have let him out, but go ahead.
Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to get to the point where yeah, like Peter, Harry, and MJ are just all having a dinner and they're reminiscing. Well, Harry's reminiscing. Harry's like, remember that time we were back in college, and I went to Mary Jane's play and she said, I'm the star, y'all gotta pay attention to me. Remember that time? He's over there laughing, he's looking at him like, this dude is fucking crazy. They're having all the conversation. And then he starts getting really deeper. Oh, remember that time, Pete? When you stole MJ from me, and I got pissed off at you, and I started popping pills, and you had an overdose, you took me to the hospital. He started getting. We actually reviewed that book. That's the one that Stan Lee wrote. That killed the Comics Code. So he starts going in deep like that, and Peter's just like, "Hold up, man, you holding a grudge with me for some shit that happened back in college? You mad at me because you're supposed to be this rich asshole, supposed to get any girl you want. You mad because you couldn't get MJ? Hey, fuck you. You know. So he's like pissed off at him, stuff like that. He's like, oh no, it goes deeper than that. What about that time? Not only that, when you did to that, what about the time when my dad had amnesia, you know, and you didn't tell me my dad was sick. You didn't tell me my dad was Green Goblin. You didn't tell me my dad had all these problems. You kept that to yourself. And Pete was like, reason I told you that because you looked up to your dad, and I didn't want you to know that he was the real Green Goblin. He was like, bullshit. You didn't want me to know you were Spider-Man. You were trying to protect your own identity and acting like you were trying to protect my dad's identity, but we know what this was really about. And then he was saying, yeah, so he goes basically in on him, basically saying that you really just care nothing about me. Matter of fact, that was my father, not your father. You're supposed to tell me anything's going with him, not keep yourself to a secret. Matter of fact, everything you just did because you didn't tell me what happened to my father when we could have got him help and could have got him treated. That's why Gwen is dead now. That's all on you, Pete, because you kept all these secrets, and all these secrets came back on you. You know, so Pete's just going in on him, stuff like that. And then Pete's just like, this bullshit. Why are you really pissed off at me? He was like, because he's pissed off at me. Now, this is where the book gets weird, because I'm gonna just skip to the end. Green Goblin, Harry, Norman Osborn is back.
Okay.
I don't know. He's the main bad guy of this story. So they had this like real good story, you know, this back and forth where they were just talking, going back and forth, stuff like that. Oh, also where Harry was about to, he was like about to kill Mary Jane, but he couldn't kill Mary Jane because he still loves Mary Jane. Norman's like, fuck that bitch, and throws a bomb at it and just blows up, you know. But she doesn't die at the end, and apparently Harry was pissed off at him. So now you got Harry versus Norman, you know, the father versus the son, whatever like that. And Kingpin shows up. I don't know why. He's just here. So the book got kind of weird, and then some fog goes over that. Apparently Mary Jane isn't dead. She's still talking to the end, like, but he's like, Tiger, he got to do more than that. He's got to go harder to kill me. And that's in the book. So it was a good book for a while, and then it got weird. So not only, well, at first they wanted you to make Harry was the bad guy, but Norman is the bad guy, and then Kingpin is the bad guy over that. What Kingpin got to do with this? I don't know. He's just there. So it was good to a point, and then it just got off the rails. I'm pretty sure, like I said, I haven't been reading the story. I'm pretty sure some other stuff that are, you know, that are deeper what's going on. I didn't catch all that shit. I just read it, just like, what the fuck? You know, niggas. Yes, he is. Okay, look, all comic book fans that are listening to this podcast right now, I want to make a request. Leave Nick Spencer alone. Look, forgive Nick Spencer for what he did. Because honestly, when you look back at it, what he did wasn't that bad. I'm not going to go into detail what he did, but we all know what he did. He know what he did. And it wasn't that bad. Like, give the guy some slack, because he's really making a great story right here. The Captain America story was actually a great story when you read it all in context. And this story is a great story too, because all he's doing is just taking all the stuff that Stan Lee threw in there. All the stuff that Stan Lee was actually, you know, hinting at too. He's just going deeper into it with the stuff that was already there. That's why I'm enjoying it as a Spider-Man fan. But when you start throwing in bad guy after bad guy after bad guy, you're like, okay, what? So that's my thing. Overall, 3.5 out of 5. It was a strong 4 until Kingpin just showed up for no fucking reason whatsoever. You know, so that's my thing. So yeah, what you got?
I guess I'll do Werewolf by Night number 3.
Let's do it to it. Okay. Let's see.
So this has written by Taboo.
From Black Eyed Peas.
From Black Eyed Peas. He, you know,
he's on Marvel's payroll.
Yeah, he's part native, I guess. And they got him writing this. So quick recap. This is a new Werewolf by Night by the name of Jake Gomez, I believe. He's of Hopi descent, and he basically protects the reservation from, you know, crime and shit. He has a little, like a girlfriend who, you know, kind of sort of tames him with music. They listen to shitty metal and keeps him from killing. He's not supposed to kill, but he's basically got this werewolf curse that's like, it's been descended down through his family tree. And so he's kind of protecting the res as a werewolf. But they find out there's this like drug company that is, you know, kidnapping kids off the res and doing experiments on them and making like these human animal hybrid super soldiers. So he fought them last issue, and then kind of because they're after him. This company is actually after this kid. So he kind of goes in hiding. But Red Wolf shows
So
up.
Red Wolf finally shows up. Okay.
Yes, Red Wolf shows up and basically finds him. And, he knows that this company's after him and he wants to protect this new werewolf. And so this is a very heavy Red Wolf issue. And I don't know how to feel about that because I'm not a fan.
I wasn't expecting it, right?
I'm not a fan of Red Wolf.
Did they revamp him? Does he have a different costume? What's his
he's
deal?
still just just the mystical native guy, and that's what it leans into. And you can tell Taboo, because I guess Taboo's a big Red Wolf fan. So he said
cosplayed as Red Wolf, or when is Halloween as Red Wolf or something.
Yeah, so he leans heavily into the Red Wolf writing, and you just tell he's having fun writing him.
Mm-hmm.
But Red Wolf is very to me, he's that stereotypical mystical native medicine man talking about Mother Earth and the creator and the flutes playing and shit.
That maybe Taboo is trying to do what the other writer did with Silver Fox, where they're trying to, I don't know, bring legitimacy to this character?
I don't know. Well, no. Well, Silver Fox was that guy. He's actually was the same tribe as her, so he had an insight. I don't know what tribe. Maybe he's Hopi. I'm not sure. I don't even know what tribe Red Wolf is. But he's
a Marvel.
He's leaning into the whole mystical, new age hippie Indian speak that I can't stand. I can just imagine the flutes playing and shit.
Right. Wow. Okay.
So, but basically, Red Wolf, captures, tames the werewolf kid and sings him a song to calm him down and shit, and then basically says, "Hey, this company's after you. They're doing a bunch of shady shit. We got to team up and stop them." And that's kind of where it ends. So not a lot of shit happened. It's just a little tussle between Red Wolf and this werewolf kid. There is, however, one scene that I found interesting, and it's a page that Jeffrey Verigi, he's that one native artist that's doing all the covers, that did that whole indigenous voices covers for all those books.
Mm-hmm.
He did at one point, Red Wolf tells this kid a story about an old native tale about this guy who sacrificed himself for the wolf spirit or something to save his village or whatever. And that basically that same, I think he's implying that same power has been bestowed on this kid, but it was told in a winter count. Remember in the indigenous voices with the Watcher and had all the different, the circular
right
art style, and you had all the imagery. That's what this was like. There was a page where it was just it was in a circle, but it was all these different images, that told the story.
That's how it was in that video, because when you look at it close, each one was a different character. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's pretty cool right there.
Yeah, and it actually has it's almost like a comic book, traditional native art, telling stories through sequential art.
Well, that's what hieroglyphics are back in ancient Egypt.
Yeah. So
art,
I should have grabbed. Let me try to pull it up. But I thought that was really interesting, and I'll give it points for that. But other than that, I'll give this a 3 out of 5. It was kind of a little bit corny in my opinion. Like I said, the whole Red Wolf. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of Red Wolf. He's just
Taboo's gonna turn you around.
he's just that stereotypical.
He's gonna bring him home.
Yeah, he's just that stereotypical, mystical native dude spouting out that, good old fashioned Indian wisdom shit.
I don't know, Eli. I think there's a good character in Red Wolf somewhere. Somebody's got to crack that code.
Yeah. just don't make them corny. I'm just sick of the corniness. Don't
Because you
just
feel like Red Wolf, like I felt about Luke Cage.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's this, throw me on the full
Hold on. Let me
screen.
blow you up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
force you out of there. Okay, what do we got?
So there it is. I mean, and if you can see the panels, like there's these different, art, the hieroglyphics telling the story. And then each panel, like he actually lists it. Each panel is listed off. So it's like basically a song that he was singing. I think it's supposed to be the lyrics to the song that Red Wolf sang to the werewolf to get him to calm down and stuff.
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
Basically, yeah. But I thought that was cool. I thought, here's a why
You think they would, but they didn't.
Oh shit, wrong one. Whoops. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's just I thought that was really cool. Again, incorporating native art into comic books, which I'm all for. Just, don't make the character so corny, I guess. Because that's the thing is when they rebooted Red Wolf, and I was excited. I was excited when they were rebooting him. But he's a man at a time. He got plucked from the 1800s, went through some time loop, came into the modern times. So he's still the stereotypical.
I thought the original thing, he just smoked some bad weed and just thought he was from that time.
I don't know. He went through the fucking time loop and he ended up in modern times. So he's still like a man out of time. He's an ancient native relic. So he's still like and that's my thing about native stereotypes. It's like, everyone's fascinated with the noble savage. They want
you're about to get mad at me. Better get mad at me. I'm gonna request Red Wolf to be in that Avengers game.
Well, just don't have him running around in buckskin like they have.
Hey, maybe they will revamp him.
You know what they did? What pissed me off in that Red Wolf book? When Red Wolf went through the time loop and he came through in modern time, some kid ran up to him and took a picture of him with his phone, like, hey, an Indian, like he's fucking Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Marvel, do you have anybody on staff to just be like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, like we're not fucking cavemen, motherfuckers. Man. We're not unicorns. We still exist. You don't have to pluck us from the 1800s. And that's my deal with Red Wolf. Is he's like an he's the man out of time. He's the engine out of time.
Yeah. And I feel like there's molded clay there that could be something if a good enough writer does something with them. Taboo isn't the guy.
Yeah,
maybe will.i.am.
Have Thanos snap him into like race this guy and have him born and he's born in the 80s.
I'm telling you, that was the original origin of Red Wolf. He smoked some bad weed and thought he was from that time and just ran around
like that's any better.
It's not any better, but I'm just like, that was what it was. I was like, what the fuck?
Just don't, will you? That's what I'm saying. I get sick of this. Just don't put natives in the book if you're just gonna make them shitty,
Right. Make them cool, make them badass, do something.
But I'll give Taboo some credit. At least he's trying. His heart's in the right place. Yeah. And he's trying to make Red Wolf a thing, just less singing song, less hiya, and more kicking ass.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna start getting some emails or tweets like that, like Taboo, what the fuck, do something.
And actually, I recognized him. What's his name? Vince Schilling. He runs the website Indian Country Today. It's one of the prominent news outlets for native country. Indian Country Today, I think it's called. It's on Facebook. I follow them. He's actually a big nerd. The guy, the main editor, he's actually in the book. They actually drew him, and it's his likeness. I said, "Hey, he plays like the tribal chairman or something." Mm-hmm. But I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of cool. You actually got a real native guy, a real native journalist in the book." But
cool.
So I don't know. Hopefully. They this
Like, okay, reason I say that because we just talked about Shang-Chi and look at all what they're doing with Shang-Chi.
yeah, and
Right, they're really digging in the lore, making him an interesting character. So that's why I feel like there's clay. It's like Red Wolf is a lump of clay that can be molded if you get a talented enough writer and a creative team to do something with him.
yeah,
And here's the thing: it may not be in a comic, Eli. It may have to be when they make a Disney Plus show or something like that.
or so, or like when we were talking about Silver Fox,
You're right.
and that writer was not only a huge fan of the X-Men and dug Silver Fox out of his ass,
Right. Right.
but then also knew the history of the tribe and actually put that character within the context of his tribal history. And that's what made that story interesting.
You know what's crazy about it? That if Taboo would have wrote a story in that book that we were talking about, he would have felt so out of place. I don't know. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of here.
Because this isn't bad. Like the story up until now, the idea is cool. Yes, this native kid, he becomes a werewolf. He's protecting the res. There's a drug company kidnapping kids, which just goes into the whole missing and murdered native women, issue that's going on in native country that doesn't get addressed. So he's tackling issues, within the indigenous community with this book. It's just we got to Red Wolf, and it's just me. I'm not a Red Wolf fan, and he was just being the stereotypical mystical native, which I can't stand. I guess.
Yeah, so.
But the winter count scene was cool. I'll give it points for that, and that was Jeffrey Veregi, and just incorporating the native art into comic books. I'm all for that. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Cool. I'm booked out. I was gonna do Iron Man and Doctor Doom versus Santa Claus, but fuck that book.
I heard about that. I almost got that.
I don't know why the fuck I got that. He could be Native Captain America character, bad aspect. Honestly, I think they need to drop the whole man. Because honestly, it's the same thing as Black Knight, and they already got a guy to do that. He's 12th century Camelot thing like it's the same story. It's just cut and paste. So do something different. They completely revamp. Nobody would care. Just do something new. What else you got?
I got. Let's see. The only other books I read was, blah, 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 blah. Crap, that's not going. So fuck it. I'll just say, okay, yeah. I won't share the screen. I did that Ghost Rider, Return of Vengeance, Howard Mackie.
I almost picked this up, but I didn't because I knew you were going to read it.
Yeah, Howard Mackie brings back Vengeance, the old Vengeance character. What's that guy's name? Bertolino, the cop. He was a cop after Danny Ketch back in the day, and he ends up becoming
kind of when I started reading because I was just like, oh, this is just Venom. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he basically becomes like a bad Ghost Rider, and right. An enemy of Danny Ketch.
He becomes a good Ghost Rider later. And they
something
team up and yeah.
He's and he ends up dying and go to hell. This book basically is just about him escaping hell. He goes to hell, he breaks out of his chains, fights a bunch of demons, comes back to Earth. Very simple, straightforward. If you're a fan of the old series, it's cool, but it is very 90s, very cheesy 90s-esque. I thought it was all right. I give it a 3 out of 5. I wonder how I don't know if kids these days would get into it,
But that's the thing. It seems like that's what Marvel is doing nowadays. Like I said, you brought Howard Mackie back to do Vengeance. You got Peter David to do Maestro. Yeah. I think Chris Claremont's coming back to do something else. All the old guys, they're bringing them back to give them side projects that have no effect on the regular continuity, so it won't fuck up, Jason Aaron or Donny Cates, whatever like that. They do what they want to do. Meanwhile, give these guys something to do so our old asses can flock to it, basically.
Yeah. And it's fine. It's totally serviceable. Vengeance just whipping demons' asses in hell.
Right. So like I said, that Ghost Rider first run with Howard Mackie and Mark Texieri, whatever the fuck his name was, that shit was awesome. It was like a horror comic that Marvel was doing.
The Spirits of Vengeance and the Midnight Suns and their battle.
The first dude he fought was a child molester, and then he penny stared him and fucked him up. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. So this was cool. 3 out of 5. And then the last, let me see if I can pull that up. I don't know, for some reason that would not pull up. But I'll got to talk about this.
Okay.
Boom, boom.
Wait,
The
what? Okay.
Batman Annual,
Okay. Let me.
number 5, The Origin of Clown Hunter.
Okay.
Art by James Stoke. Great
I
art.
read the first like 3. I didn't like the art on this. That's why I kind
Oh,
of paid
really? I
attention
love
to
this guy's art.
it. Yeah. I was like, eh.
And James Tinian still writing. This basically just it's the origin of Clown Hunter. For those who don't know, Clown Hunter is born out of the Joker War storyline. This kid whose parents were murdered by the Joker, and then he goes to the Narrows, just killing the Joker's goons. In this story, he goes to Leslie Tompkins, and basically is like, "Hey, Batman said to come see you because I need to know what I'm doing with my life. I thought I had a purpose, killing clowns." But I didn't kill Harley Quinn when I had a chance, so now I don't know what to do with my life. And then he goes into his past. We see that his family ran a pho restaurant, pho noodles, the Vietnamese noodles. They ran a restaurant. Joker and Harley came in one night, killed his family, left him alive, and he thought Batman would do something about it, but Batman would just capture the Joker, then he'd break out of jail again. Capture the Joker, break out. That's what he kept doing. So Batman ain't doing shit, ain't changing shit. When the Joker War happened, that's when Clown Hunter decided to do things on his own and get results that Batman wouldn't get. So he started killing clowns. But now he's wondering what his purpose is in his life. And then Leslie Tompkins just says, "Hey, you know what? I'm not a fan of Batman either," which is really funny.
No, that's the thing with Leslie Tompkins. She's always been critical of Batman.
Yeah, she says, "I don't agree with violence. I wish Batman wouldn't solve everything through violence, but I think there's good in everybody, and I hope that one day, they will change." And
because I noticed, like in Leslie Tompkins' focus stories, Batman tries not to beat the shit out of people in front of her. So that's his thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So she basically says, "Hey, next week I'm having a meeting, or we're doing some charity work. I can't remember, feeding the homeless or whatever. Or anger management. I don't know. If you would like to come, come. You're invited." And Clown Hunter's like, "Maybe I will." And I think he ends up taking off his mask and introduces himself and says, "I'm Bao." So I think that's a first step into a first step that he's taking. Mm-hmm. But I still love this character, and I really dug on this. So this is this is a 5 out of 5 for me.
Well, damn. I was wondering why you were leaving it last. I was like, this must be a good one.
Well, we're doing through Marvel. I figured, Marvel and DC.
Going. Okay.
Yeah.
So Tinian wrote this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this was cool. And I dig, this Clown Hunter is way better than Punchline.
I mean, he don't have big
tits. He doesn't have tits. He don't got tits.
Yeah, so I mean that's a flaw in your logic, hole in your argument,
Oh man. I could I'm not skinny enough, but I could be fat Clown Hunter.
Oh man. So any other books we got, or
that's it? That's all I got.
All right. Yeah, like I said, if you listen this long, different like, share, subscribe. I know this was a long one, but hey, we went short last week, so we're making up for this week for the beginning of the year. Hold up, we got one more before we get up out of here. What do we got? Flashback stand on reality comics for older creators sounds cool. Thanks, Marvel. Clown Hunter is now a spinoff Batman franchise. What do you think, Eli? You think it's gonna be a spinoff? Get him a book?
I think he can do his own story. I think if he doesn't have to be like a Robin, but he can be like part of the Bat family. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
If they made his character and thinking he was going to be this one-off thing they want to think about, but he kind of takes off or become like a fan favorite.
Yeah, he can like walk that hard, like Red Hood, how he walks that slippery slope.
Like they put all their eggs in the Punchline's basket,
Yeah.
But it would be interesting if Clown Hunter is the breakout star and they started, let's revamp this. Let's go this route. You know,
Yeah, we already got
I'm
one Harley
thinking
Quinn.
you already got one Harley Quinn, so we'll need one with bigger tits. So just get Clown Hunter and just see how it goes from there. So yeah. But like I said, if you listen to this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. First podcast of 2021. We're just gonna keep it going. Thank you guys for listening for 2020 because our viewer count has grown exponentially. Like whatever we were before, we're bigger than what we were before. Like we went from at the beginning of 2020 to telling people we had a podcast and nobody caring to people actually asking us, hey, "You got a podcast?" You know.
Yeah.
So at least they know it exists. That's something. So
Yeah.
and we're just kind of just growing from there. So yeah, if you like listen this long, then like subscribe. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.